Galactic Empire meets human ships. A hilarious encounter. The morning started like any other for Admiral Kim on the great ship Starkeeper. He sat in his big chair, drinking his morning tea. The tea was blue and tasted like what humans might call cinnamon. Admiral Kim had been in space for 30 years. He had met 12 new alien races. Each meeting followed the same steps from the big book of rules. "Sir, we found something strange," said Officer Lee, looking at her screen. Her antenna twitched with worry. Admiral Kim put down his tea. "What is it?" "Ships, sir. 3 of them. They're using old fusion power. Very basic, they must be new to space travel." The Admiral smiled. A new race to welcome to the Galactic Empire. He loved this part of his job. "Send them the greeting message. Tell them we come in peace." Officer Lee sent the message that had worked 12 times before. It had pictures of peace and friendship that any race could understand. The strange ships didn't answer right away. Admiral Kim wasn't worried. New races often needed time to figure out how to talk back. "They're answering," Officer Lee suddenly shouted. "But it's strange." The big screen in front of them turned on. A human woman appeared. She had short black hair and wore a blue uniform. Behind her, other humans were moving around laughing, and some were even eating at their workstations. "Hello there. I'm Captain Soo-Jin of Earthship Wonder. Nice to meet you." She waved her hand in a friendly way. Admiral Kim blinked all 4 of his eyes. This wasn't how first meetings usually went. Where was the fear? The careful words? This human seemed happy. "I am Admiral Kim of the Galactic Empire. We welcome you to space." He tried to sound formal and proper. Captain Soo-Jin smiled wider. "Thanks. We've only been out here for about 50 years. You're the first aliens we've met who talked back. The others just ran away when we tried to invite them for dinner." The alien crew looked at each other with confusion. "Dinner? With strangers?" "We would like to learn about your species," Admiral Kim said slowly. "Sure thing. I'm sending you some files now. Just some basic stuff, our history, some music, cat videos, memes, the important parts of human culture." The ship's computer began making strange noises as it received the files. "Sir," cried the computer expert Jun-Ho, "their information is too random. The translation system can't handle it." On the screen they saw images of cats wearing clothes, humans dancing, pictures with strange words on them, and thousands of songs. "What is a meme?" asked Officer Lee, looking confused. "And why do they have so many cats?" asked another crew member. Admiral Kim stood up. This was not going according to the rules. "Captain Soo-Jin, we need time to process this information." "No problem. Hey, while you're doing that, why don't we meet in person? We could come to your ship or you could come to ours. I make really good cookies." The alien crew gasped. Going to each other's ships was step 23 in the first contact. Rules. These humans wanted to skip to step 23. "That would not be proper," Admiral Kim said firmly. "We must follow protocol." Captain Soo-Jin looked disappointed. "Protocol? Oh, like rules and stuff. Well, okay. How long does your protocol usually take before we can hang out?" "Approximately 3 of your Earth months," Admiral Kim answered. The captain's eyes went wide. 3 months? That's crazy. "Listen, we're going to be in this part of space for just 2 weeks. How about we speed things up a bit?" Before Admiral Kim could answer, alarms started ringing. "Sir," Jun-Ho shouted, "their memes have crashed our translation system, and their music files. The crew in the lower decks are dancing." "Admiral," Kim couldn't believe it. This had never happened before. "Captain Soo-Jin," he said urgently, "please stop sending files." "Oops, sorry about that. Didn't realize our stuff would cause problems." She looked genuinely sorry. "Tell you what, let's just talk the old-fashioned way. Person to person. No computers needed." Admiral Kim thought for a moment. The rules said nothing about what to do when your translation system crashed because of cat videos. "Very well," he finally said. "We will talk, but no more files." Captain Soo-Jin clapped her hands happily. "Great. And maybe later you can tell me why your skin is purple. It's really pretty." Admiral Kim touched his purple skin, surprised by the compliment. Maybe these humans were strange, but they seemed friendly. Officer Lee, he said quietly, prepare the meeting room, and find out what cookies are. The captain mentioned them twice. They must be important to humans. As the screen turned off, Admiral Kim had a feeling that meeting humans was going to be very different from meeting any other species. The rules might not work this time. The morning after the first meeting, Scientist Hyun struggled to understand humans. He sat in the Empire's study room with 3 screens showing Earth information. For the past 6 hours, he watched human television shows, read their news, and listened to their music. His head hurt. This makes no sense, he told his research partner June. Humans have over 7,000 languages. They fight wars over which invisible god is real. Some eat animals, others don't. Some think the color blue means sad, others think it means calm. June nodded, her antenna drooping with tiredness. And their entertainment. They create fake problems to solve. They pretend to be in danger when they're safe. They call it movies and games. Admiral Kim entered the room. What have you learned about the humans? Hyun stood up quickly. Sir, humans are the strangest beings we've ever met. Look at this. He showed a screen where humans were jumping out of flying vehicles with cloth attached to their backs. What are they doing? Asked the Admiral. They call it skydiving. They jump from high places and for fun. Admiral Kim's skin changed from purple to a worried green. For fun? Is it a test of courage? No, sir, just fun. They do many dangerous things for fun. June showed another screen. And look at this. Humans argue with each other constantly. They have something called politics, where they yell about how to run their planet. They never agree. Never? Asked Admiral Kim. Almost never. They have thousands of different ideas about everything. The Admiral sat down heavily. The Empire Council won't like this. Humans sound dangerous and unpredictable. Meanwhile, on the human ship, Captain Soo-jin was having her own meeting. What do we know about these aliens? She asked her crew. Min, the ship's scientist, looked at his notes. They're very organized. Everything follows rules. They seem shocked by our casual behavior. Their ship is super clean, added Engineer Day. No personal items visible. Everyone wears the same clothes. They're like space robots, but alive. Captain Soo-jin tapped her fingers on the table. We need to make friends with them. The galaxy is big and scary. We need allies. Maybe we should be more formal, suggested Officer Park. Follow their rules? No, said the captain with a smile. I have a better idea. Let's invite them to dinner. Back. On the Empire ship, alarms sounded again. Sir, called Officer Lee. The humans are sending another message. Admiral Kim prepared himself. Put it on screen. Captain Soo-jin appeared, smiling as always. Hello again. We'd like to invite you and your officers to dinner tomorrow. A cultural exchange. You can learn about us, we can learn about you. No pressure, just food and conversation. The Admiral's mouth opened in shock. Dinner? Together? That was step 34 in the protocol. Captain, we cannot skip so many steps, it's not proper, he said firmly. Why not? She asked simply. Admiral Kim blinked. In his 200 years of service, no one had ever asked him why they followed the rules. They just did. Because that's how first contact works, he finally said. But what if it worked better another way? Look, we humans like to get to know each other over food. It's how we build trust. You eat my food, I eat yours, nobody poisons anybody, and we become friends. The Admiral considered this strange logic. Our species eat very different things. Our food might hurt you. We've already analyzed your food supplies. Our bodies can handle it. We're very adaptable. This surprised the Admiral. The humans had scanned their ship without permission. This was very concerning. Please consider our invitation, Captain Soo-jin continued. It would mean a lot to us. After she disappeared, from the screen, Admiral Kim called an emergency meeting with his officers. The humans are dangerous, said Security Chief Han. They break all rules. They scan our ship without asking. We should leave this area immediately. I disagree, said Officer Lee surprisingly. I've been watching their cat videos. Humans care deeply about small, weak creatures. They help animals that give them nothing in return. That shows good hearts. They are confusing but interesting, added Hyun. Their science takes strange paths, but they solve problems in ways we never think of. Admiral Kim listened to everyone. Finally, he made his decision. We will accept their dinner invitation, he announced, but we will be careful. Perhaps humans don't follow our rules, but they have their own kind of order. We need to understand it. As the officers left, Admiral Kim looked at the human files again. One image showed thousands of humans working together to build a tall structure. Another showed them helping each other after a disaster. Chaotic, but united, he murmured. What a strange combination. The most important day had arrived. The Empire sent their best diplomat, Jin, to meet the humans. Jin had studied diplomacy for 50 years. She knew the rules for meeting 200 different alien species. But there were no rules for humans yet. Jin wore the formal purple robe of Empire diplomats. Her gray skin was polished until it shone. Her assistant, Young, carried the official gifts, rare crystals from the Empire's homeworld. Remember, Jin told Young, we must be perfect. This meeting will decide if humans are friends or enemies. They walked slowly to the meeting room on the Empire ship. Admiral Kim waited there. Are you ready? He asked Jin. Yes, sir. I have memorized their customs as best I could. Humans are unpredictable, but I will adapt. The doors opened. Captain. Soo-jin entered with 2 human officers. The humans wore clean uniforms, but they looked relaxed. The female captain carried a colorful box and a bottle. Jin bowed formally. We welcome you to our ship. May our meeting bring understanding between our peoples. Captain Soo-jin smiled and stepped forward with her hand out. Jin stared at the hand, confused. You're supposed to shake it, whispered Officer Min to Captain Soo-jin. Oh, said the captain. Sorry, I forgot you might not know handshakes. It's how we greet each other. Jin looked at Admiral Kim, who nodded slightly. Carefully, Jin reached out and took the human's hand. Captain Soo-jin moved their hands up and down. There, now we're properly introduced, the captain said happily. I brought gifts. These are cookies I made myself. She held out the colorful box. Jin was shocked. Personal gifts? Made by hand? This was against all protocols. Gifts were supposed to be rare treasures that showed a planet's wealth. Thank you, Jin said stiffly, taking the box. We have prepared the traditional first meeting gifts for you. She motioned to Young, who stepped forward with the crystals. Captain Soo-jin's eyes widened. Wow, they're beautiful. Thank you so much. Without warning, she touched Jin's arm. You guys are really nice, Young gasped. Touching a diplomat without permission was a serious offense in the Empire. Jin froze, but remembered her training. Humans touch each other as greeting, she reminded herself. It is not an attack. Please sit, Jin said, pointing to the table. We have prepared a meal that should be safe for humans. The humans sat down, looking at the strange blue and green foods. This looks interesting, said Captain Soo-jin. But first, let's have a toast. She opened her bottle and poured a clear liquid into small cups. This is soju, a traditional drink from my home country on Earth. Jin looked nervously at the liquid. Sharing drinks was step 52 in the contact protocol. We should not consume each other's food until safety tests are complete, Jin said. We already tested your food and you tested ours. It's fine. Captain Soo-jin pushed a cup toward Jin. Come on, it's part of becoming friends. Admiral Kim nodded, slowly. We will try your soju. Jin picked up the small cup. The humans raised theirs too. To new friendships across the stars, Captain Soo-jin said loudly, then drank her soju in one swallow. Jin sipped carefully. The liquid burned her mouth. She coughed, her skin turning blue with surprise. The humans laughed. Jin was horrified, laughing at a diplomat. But then she noticed, They were laughing with joy, not meanness. "Strong, isn't it?" Captain Sujin said, smiling. "Don't worry, you'll get used to it." As they ate, the humans asked many personal questions. How long have you been a diplomat? Do you have a family? What do you do for fun? Jin had never been asked such things in an official meeting. She answered carefully at first, but the humans seemed genuinely interested. By the end of the meal, Jin had learned about Captain Sujin's 3 children, Officer Min's love of mountain climbing and their dreams of finding friendly aliens. When Jin mentioned she had been studying stars since childhood, the humans wanted to know everything about her research. "You actually care about my work?" Jin asked, surprised. "Of course," said Captain Sujin. "That's what friends do. They care about each other's lives." Jin felt something strange happen. The strict rules she had followed for 50 years seemed less important. These humans broke every protocol, but they were nice. As the meeting ended, Captain Sujin did something that would change galactic history. She hugged Jin. In the Empire, hugging was only for family members, but Jin found herself hugging back. "I think," Jin said later to Admiral Kim, "that humans don't need our usual protocols. They have their own way of building trust." "And what way is that?" asked the Admiral. Jin smiled for the first time in years. "They call it friendship. The Moa Empire decided it was time to help the humans. After all, humans still used simple fusion power. They must need better technology. Chief Engineer Bay prepared special gifts for the humans. Plans for faster engines, better computers, and cleaner energy. These will help humans advance by at least 500 years, Bay told Admiral Kim proudly. "It's our duty to help less developed species." Admiral Kim nodded. "The Council has approved sharing basic technology. Engineer Bay, you will lead the team visiting the human ship." Bay gathered his best engineers, Mina, Sue, and Jin. They packed their tools and tablets with the technology plans. When they reached the human ship Wonder, Captain Sujin welcomed them with her usual big smile. "We're so excited to show you around. Our chief engineer Tae can't wait to meet you." The Empire engineers looked around the human ship. It was smaller than theirs and much noisier. People talked and laughed as they worked. Some areas were messy, with tools left out. "Very casual," Bay whispered to Mina. They met Engineer Tae in the engine room. He was a short man with friendly eyes and hands stained with oil. "Welcome. Sorry about the mess. We're in the middle of some upgrades," Tae said, waving at the open panels and exposed wires. Bay looked at the human engines. They were indeed fusion-powered, just as their scans had shown. "Very basic technology. We have brought gifts," Bay said formally. "Technical plans that will help humans advance." Tae's eyes lit up. "Really? That's so kind. We'd love to see what you use." Bay showed him the tablet. "With engine designs. This is our standard spacefold drive. It allows travel at 500 times light speed." Tae studied the designs with interest. "Fascinating approach. You use dimensional folding rather than space compression." "We tried that but had problems with quantum stability." Bay blinked in surprise. "You tried space folding?" "Oh yes, about 20 years ago. It worked but used too much energy. We found space compression more efficient for our needs." Tae pointed to a different part of his engine. "See this? It compresses space in front of the ship instead of folding it." The Empire engineers exchanged confused looks. Space compression was extremely advanced technology. The Empire had only theoretical models for it. "May we see how it works?" asked Mina carefully. "Sure." Tae opened a panel, revealing a complex arrangement of crystals and glowing tubes. "The trick is managing the quantum field collapse. We use these special crystals from Jupiter's moons." Bay felt his confidence crumbling. This was not primitive technology at all. It was just different. "What about your computers?" Sue asked. "We noticed you still use silicon-based systems." "Oh, those are just for basic ship functions," Tae explained. "Our main systems use this." He showed them a small cube filled with swirling liquid, quantum fluid computing. It's biological and mechanical combined. The Empire engineers stared in shock. The Empire had been trying to develop quantum fluid computing for a century without success. When did you? Bay couldn't finish his sentences. Tay misunderstood the surprise. I know it looks strange. Our approach to technology is a bit unusual. We tend to skip steps sometimes. Like, we never fully developed fusion bombs before moving to clean fusion power. Mina whispered to Bay. Sir, I think we've misunderstood the humans completely. Sue nodded. They're not primitive. They just developed along a completely different path than us. As they toured the ship, the Empire engineers discovered more surprises. The humans had emotional AI that could feel and create art. Their medical technology used the body's own systems for healing, rather than external machines. When they reached the ship's music room, Jin asked, "What is this place?" "Our Harmony Center," explained Tay. "Music affects brain waves and emotional states. We use specific frequencies for stress relief and focus enhancement." Bay watched as crew members sat in special chairs, listening to music through small devices in their ears. Their brain patterns appeared on screens showing remarkable changes. "You control brain function with sound?" Bay asked, amazed. "Not control exactly. We guide it. The brain and music work together," Tay said. "Would you like to try?" Later, as they prepared to return to their ship, Bay realized his tablet was still in the engine room. He went back alone to get it. There he found Tay looking at the Empire's technology plans. "Your technology is so elegant," Tay said when he noticed Bay. "Very logical and orderly. Completely different from our messy approach." "But your messy approach works better in many ways," Bay admitted. Tay smiled. "Different isn't better or worse, just different. I think if we combined our ideas, we could make something amazing." As Bay rejoined his team, he thought about what to tell Admiral Kim. The humans weren't primitive at all. They just thought differently. Their chaos had led to innovation the Empire had never imagined. "We came to teach," Bay told his team, "but I think we're the ones who will learn." The Empire's highest council gathered to talk about humans. 12 leaders sat at a round table, each representing different alien species. Admiral Kim stood before them, ready to give his report. "Honorable Council," he began, "we have spent 14 days studying humans. They are unlike any species we have met before." Elder Nam, the oldest council member, frowned. "We hear they break all protocols. They are unpredictable and emotional. Is this true?" "Yes," Admiral Kim admitted. "But they are also remarkable. Engineer Bay has discovered their technology follows different paths than ours, but reaches similar, or sometimes better results." Bay stepped forward, showing images of human inventions. They combine art with science, emotion with logic. Their ships are less efficient in some ways, but more adaptable. They can solve problems we've struggled with for centuries. The council members whispered among themselves. This was not what they expected. "What do you recommend?" asked Elder. Admiral Kim took a deep breath. "I recommend a partnership. Not just formal diplomatic ties, but true exchange of ideas and people. I believe humans have much to teach us." Many council members looked shocked. Some protested. A true partnership had only been offered to the most advanced species. "Silence," called Elder Nam. "Admiral Kim, explain why these emotional, chaotic beings deserve such an honor." "Because they think differently," Kim said simply. "Our empire has grown by following rules and logical progress, but now we face problems our traditional thinking cannot solve. The void storms in Sector 12, the crystal plague, the failing stars." He showed images of these empire problems. Humans approach problems from unexpected angles. They try solutions we would never consider. Sometimes they fail, but sometimes they succeed brilliantly. The council room was quiet as they considered his words. Meanwhile, on Earthship Wonder, Captain Sujin met with her crew. "Earth Command has approved my plan," she told them excitedly. "If the Empire agrees, we will start a cultural exchange program." "Will they agree?" asked Officer Min. They seem very strict about their rules. I think they will, said the captain. I've seen how they look at our art and music. They're curious about us, just as we are about them. 3 days later, both leaders met on neutral ground, a small space station. Between their ships, the Empire Council has approved the partnership, Admiral Kim announced formally. We will share knowledge and culture with humans. 20 of our people will visit Earth, and 20 humans may visit our homeworld. Captain Sujin tried to remain serious but couldn't help smiling. Earth is honored by your trust. This is a historic day for both our peoples. What followed surprised everyone. Humans brought their music, food, and art to Empire worlds. Empire citizens were confused at first by the noise and colors, but soon many developed a taste for human creativity. Empire. Scientists taught humans their precise methods and perfect organization. Humans showed Empire engineers their creative problem-solving. 6 months later, Admiral Kim stood on a beach in Jeju Island, Earth. He wore colorful clothes instead of his uniform. The warm sun felt good on his gray skin. Nearby, humans played. In the water, some with Empire visitors who had never seen an ocean before. Captain Sujin sat down beside him, offering ice cream. Try this. It's cold but sweet. Admiral Kim had learned to trust human food suggestions. He tasted the strange cold substance and his eyes widened with pleasure. This is very good, he admitted. See? Sometimes the best things come from stepping outside your comfort zone, she said. Humans make no sense to me, the Admiral confessed. You fight among yourselves yet work together better than any species I know. You create problems, then solve them. You take risks that seem foolish but lead to great rewards. Captain Sujin nodded. That's just who we are. Messy, emotional, and curious. The Empire has existed for 10,000 years, said Admiral Kim. We have mapped galaxies and built wonders. But in all that time, we forgot something important. What's that? She asked. How to be surprised. He looked at the ocean, so vast and beautiful. Humans surprise us every day, and that is worth more than all the protocols in the universe. In space, the first joint human-Empire ship prepared for its maiden voyage. It combined Empire precision with human creativity. Its mission, to solve problems neither species could fix alone. The ship's name, written in both human and Empire languages, shone on its side. New Beginnings. As Admiral Kim finished his ice cream, he thought that perhaps the universe had been waiting for humans and the Empire to find each other. Order and chaos, logic and emotion, together they just might be unstoppable,